So we have heard from Boston mayoral challenger Tito Jackson. Now it's time to turn our attention to Mayor Marty Walsh with his answers to the issues that are facing the city and those critical of the job that he has done over the past 4 years. Welcome back to our special edition of OTR. Mayor Walsh sitting alongside here. He is our guest for the second half hour this morning. Again, we're going to give equal time to both candidates. Tito Jackson got the first half hour, the mayor gets the second. He's the city's 54th mayor. He was a labor organizer before serving for 17 years as a state rep before being elected to the city's top job. We thank you for joining us, Mr. Mayor. Great to have you aboard just as we close into the election today. Great to see you.
We're going to start the same place that we started with Mr. Jackson earlier in the show. In light of the latest terrorism attack in New York City, how confident are you that Boston is prepared to prevent similar incidents here? And can you give us 3 specific things that you think need to be done that aren't being done now?
I think it's impossible to say that we're completely safe here in the city or anywhere at this point in the world. I mean, it's unfortunate what's happened in New York City. A few weeks before that, we had Vegas, and all last year, in the beginning of this year, we saw the incidents in Spain and different places. So it's impossible. But what we're doing is our police department is working with the counterintelligence units. They're working with the FBI. They're checking, following up on different threats that happen. Things that we do differently, during the Red Sox playoffs, we had people, sharpshooters on the roofs. We're working towards how do we make sure we keep venues like that safe. When we have the Esplanade concert or the marathon bombing, marathon run where we had the bombing, we're doing checkpoints and we're changing the way that we profile folks. We're training our police officers to be able to profile. When I say profile, look in facial recognition to see what we can find. We're not certainly profiling people, but looking at that. It's a different world. And when you ask me for 3 specific things that we're doing differently, there's not 3. It's constantly changing, and it's going to constantly change from now into the future. Policing is not just about arresting good guys and bad guys. It's about terrorism.
When does the activity change from reacting to what happened to being ahead of what is going to happen?
I think we're ahead of right now, and I think there was a report in one of the newspapers that talked about Bill Bratton talking about the New York incident and how they intercepted, I think, 28 to 30 in the last 10 years, 28 to 30 threats against the city of New York. So our police department, our FBI are out there doing the work now. So you have to continue to do that. I mean, you hope that something like the event that happened in New York last week doesn't happen here. But, you know, again, it's almost impossible to prevent it.
One thing that was very visible in New York just in the few days since the incident is they're putting up more barricades, more cement. Is that something that we'll see here in Boston, and should we?
I mean, I think we see it in certain places. I think we see fences going up around the Common that weren't there in the past. We're looking at certain ballards that are going up in different areas. I mean, I think we can take a page out of Washington's book around the White House, around the Pentagon, and around certain assets in Washington, D.C. They have the balusters there that have the chain on them, and they can come up and down. I think you're going to see a lot more of that. I think you're probably going to see that in Washington Street and Downtown Crossing at some point. Right now, we have some temporary barriers. Unfortunately, the world has changed, and we have to protect people and the public, and we have to also encourage people to go out. The situation, it appears so far, and again, I still haven't had enough information, it's changing. But the gentleman in New York somewhat acted alone, although he was inspired by ISIS. The gentleman in, I shouldn't say not even gentlemen, the cowards, I guess I'd call them a terrorist, in Vegas, acted alone. Pretty scary stuff. I mean, they're not tied back to a bigger group other than being inspired by ISIS.
Well, and you're not, you know, what specific method of killing are you going to choose? You know, there have been truck bombings, there have been plane episodes. You know, how do you stay ahead of that curve?
It's hard to. I mean, think about in the last 3 years. I mean, think about in the last 20 years in America. You had the attacks 9/11 by airplanes. The marathon bombing, you had the pressure cookers. You can go back to Timothy McVeigh, the car bomb, a homegrown terrorist. People talk about terrorism as an Islamic issue. It's not. Timothy McVeigh was born in the United States of America. The Las Vegas shooter was American. So those are scary things we're dealing with, and we constantly have to evolve. And I think one of the things I'll ask people that are watching today, if you see something or something seems suspicious, when I say that, with your neighbor, your friend, something you're seeing, call 911. We're better off checking something out than letting something go.
You'd rather waste your time than
absolutely
have to worry about it.
I mean, we saw there was an attack in 2015 in Rosendale, where the police were surveying a gentleman who was ties to foreign governments, and I mean, he was going to go do some harm. I mean, we were able to catch him before he did something wrong.
I want to talk about the new tax rate report that was released just this past week, and it shows among the largest public companies in the country, GE pays the lowest tax rate, negative 5.1%. So the question for you, Mr. Mayor, is it a good idea for Boston to give GE a $25 million property tax abatement?
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you think about the abatement's about cleaning up an area that was the NECO building and some other buildings over there that were underutilized, bringing a company like General Electric to Boston. I mean, General Electric has gotten its fair share of bad press this last couple of weeks here. The thing about people have to understand, GE, we're going to hear everything about GE. We're going to hear all the good and the bad about GE because they're a Boston-based company now. We didn't hear about it necessarily, we didn't pay attention to it. A lot of people didn't when they were a Connecticut-based company. So when you think about Boston, we didn't write General Electric a $25 million check. This is, and still, they have to build their building and they have to do a lot to get this incentive. But on top of that, they've already made a donation of $25 million to our educational system. They've made a $15 million to our job training system. They made a $10 million to our system on healthcare. So they're making investments, and a lot of the executives at GE are going on different boards across the city, so they're going to be able to use their influence to raise money for the nonprofits we have in our city. And plus, GE is attracting other companies. Is going to attract other companies to Boston.
But do you really feel that if we don't offer these incentives, the companies won't come here? Because Boston's got so much to offer. Some people would argue we're not like San Antonio, or we're not like some other cities. We have a lot to offer here. Maybe we shouldn't be offering them any money at all.
Under my administration, we haven't offered that much money. We haven't used that. We haven't used the incentive at all that very much. We're working right now with Fenway Center. That's one we'll consider. We're going back and forth on an incentive as far as building over the Pike, John Rosenthal project, and General Electric. I mean, we haven't used this. This has not been a tool of ours to use. I mean, Amazon, we're talking about Amazon coming to Boston.
Right.
I mean, I'm a little concerned about the numbers I'm seeing out of New Jersey. First of all, the number out of Worcester was $500 million property tax. It's a big hit for the city of Worcester potentially, but $7 billion out of New Jersey. I mean, we're going to have to talk to the legislature about looking for help here. I'm not excited about giving away. I mean, I want to make the deal good for Boston. When I say that, bringing in jobs to Boston would be exciting, 50,000 jobs. The majority of that tax base from the income tax goes to the state. So where we benefit tax-wise is by having Amazon come here, attracting new companies, but also the tax base for their property. That's where we get the money.
We were actually going to ask you this a little bit later, but since you brought it up, do you think that what we have to offer Amazon should be equivalent to basically what we're offering GE, knowing that, of course, Amazon's footprint's going to be a lot bigger. They're going to create allegedly a lot more jobs, that type of thing.
I think it's different. I think, you know, the GE-Amazon conversation is two very different conversations. General Electric was moving their corporate headquarters to Boston. A lot of jobs didn't follow that corporate headquarters. So we basically moved the logo, the president, the CEO, and the support staff, 900 people potentially, to Boston. Amazon's talking about creating an East Coast, if you will, headquarters where they're going to have 50,000 jobs. And it's a completely different...
so more incentives for them?
I don't know if it's necessarily more incentives.
incentives?
I think that the sale of Boston and Boston's selling point is the strength of our schools, our college universities, the talent here. I think there's a lot more that we offer Amazon as far as talent pool to be able to fill those 50,000 jobs. Amazon's going to try and... Where do you get 50,000 people to come to work if they don't have the qualifications? Boston is set up for that opportunity. Plus, we're building the housing in Boston to be able to support.
So fewer incentives for them? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, we're going to see what as we move forward.
You're not going to tell us that.
Not right now. I'm not going to play my hand right now.
All right. So let's move on to the next thing. The school budget. Tito Jackson was on this show the first half hour, and he accuses you of diluting the school budget while you say you've hiked school spending by $154 million. He claims most of your new money goes towards salary hikes for teachers and not enough for student programs. To that you say,
it's $154 million. It's I think in a 3-year period, the largest increase in a 3-year period that we've ever done. I mean, we're making now. I guess I'm glad that the council's acknowledging that we put $154 million into the schools. You know, when I took over as mayor, one of the things we looked at is that we had a structural deficit, a structural problem in the school budget. And what we wanted to do was make sure we took that structural deficit and fixed that problem, because we were spending money and not fully understanding where the money was getting into the classrooms. And over the last 3.5 years, 4 years, we've made sure that money's more and more going into the classrooms. We've cut cut down on transportation spending. We've taken 8th and 7th and 8th graders that used to go on buses on public transportation. Every major city in America has 7th and 8th graders on public transportation. We've been able to redirect that money into the schools. We've made a 21% increase in special education funding. We have more high-performing schools than any other period in the history of our city, level 1 and level 2 schools. Our graduation rate in high schools is the highest I think on record. And we've made a plan to invest $1 billion in our schools. I mean, I don't mean to rush. I feel like I'm rushing through this conversation.
No. Yeah.
Our schools are the future of Boston. And we've heard a lot of people in the past talk about fixing the schools, and we talked about it in the 50s and 60s, we talked about it in the 70s and 80s when busing came, and we talked about the 90s and 2000s, and nothing against my predecessors, everyone tried, but we have to get it right. We have to get it right. When we think about income inequality and we think about race, one of the other questions you might ask me before the day's over is that the average wealth for a white family is $200,000+, and the average wealth for a black family is $7. How do you change that? You change that by education and opportunity, and we have to get our public system right.
And when you say his proposal to add $47 million more towards public education in the budget that he offered a couple of days ago.
Actually, his budget doesn't increase spending to education. His budget actually cuts money back. I don't know if it was a misprint in the budget that he put forth, but the budget he put forth actually reduces spending in schools. And what we're doing here in the schools is in Boston. Before I became mayor, we changed the school system to give more autonomy to the local schools, more ability for hiring and firing for the teachers of the leadership of those schools. The money follows the child. So what happens is, I know we're going commercial probably. Yeah. What's happening here is that schools that have less enrollment aren't going to get the same allotment from the year before because they have fewer kids.
You did a great. You want to send it to commercial? You did a great job.
Let's go to commercial.